Hey everybody, welcome to episode 1 of Adventure in Marriage. This is Stephen M. Lowisz. And I wanted to walk you through a little bit why I started this video series, Adventure in Marriage. So I have the Rise or Die podcast. I have a couple of other series that are coming out, and they're all business related. But business is only part of the equation. One of the things that most people are missing out on is across body, being, and balance. We call it the core four: body, being, balance, and business. Business is actually only 25% of the equation, but it's the portion that everyone wants to focus on. They forget about their health, they forget about spending time with family, connecting with God, even just reclaiming back their sanity. And this is especially true for entrepreneurs. So as much as I talk about sales and marketing and, rising or dying in business and so forth, I wanted to do a series that actually puts emphasis on marriage and emphasis on adventure. So you're going to see a lot of my wife. I'm going to actually introduce her here in a second. But you're also going to see just a lot of adventure. So if you look behind me, for example, you see some volcanoes. If you look around, you see beautiful scenery. We're actually in Antigua, Guatemala. One of the things that I'm going to be documenting and showing you guys is the move here. So I've been here for 2 weeks. We're going to kind of go, retroactively go back to our move. We're going to show you what it was like to actually make that giant leap. But just to give you a little bit of context, we're business owners. We have a small team here in Antigua, Guatemala, as well as the U.S. And we decided to sell our home and actually move down here so that we could grow our business, but also kind of take a step back from the daily grind and start to actually enjoy life, meaning take a breath, meaning actually start to enjoy our surroundings and what we have. So we're going to cover a lot of different little pieces. It's going to be kind of like a vlog, right? Sometimes I'm just going to talk, sometimes I'm just going to show you adventure, but the incentive or the motive behind all of this is to show you that, guys, as important as business is, and I'm going to talk a lot about it. I'm a capitalist, I'm a sales and marketing guy, I love money. But we also need to focus on what's important, which is relationships, God, health, so on and so forth. So now with that being said, I want to introduce my wife. So meet my wife, Rachel.
Hello.
Now, the reason that we're doing this together, well, number one, it's just a lot of fun. But number two, this is a big change from where we were at like 2 years ago. We got married, 2.5 years ago now?
Ish.
And within 6 months, we were on the verge of divorce. Like, it was bad. We got married just after I had turned 20 years old. She's 2 months older. She's a cougar. But all I did was focus on work, like every other entrepreneur. It was the only example I had, so that's the path that I took. I would work round the clock, 24/7, realistically 24/7.
Pretty much, yeah. He was always doing something work-related and always not paying attention to me.
And the funny part was, the more I took a step back from business and actually started to invest in our marriage, the more money I actually made. That's kind of the counterintuitive piece to all of this. And I actually enjoy life more, because when you go to war with the marketplace every day, then you come home and you go to war with your wife, and the second you walk in the door, you're already starting shit with your wife. It just doesn't go well. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. It's a negative circle. I mean, things not going well at work means they're not going well at home, which means they're not going well at work again, and it just kind of keeps repeating itself, and it's really toxic, to be quite frank.
It was miserable. So the more I started investing in her, the more it actually translated into business success. And it's been more fun, it's more enjoyable. But that's why we're putting an emphasis on adventure and marriage. So you'll see her a lot. It's not always going to be, just about marriage and whatnot. But that's a huge portion of our lives. We want to have fun together. We want to actually have adventure together. It's not just about money. It's not going and getting drunk every weekend because you hate your wife and you can't stand the relationship or the situation that you're in. We don't roll that way. We roll a little bit different. We have fun. We move to freaking Guatemala, for Pete's sake. And that's what we want to show. It's about relationships, it's about connection, it's about experiences. Money is a tool to get those things, but it is not the end result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely agree. I mean, especially getting married so young, a lot of people told us, what are you doing? You're ending your life. Don't you want to go and have some adventures first? And what we want to show is that, your life can start when you get married. Just because you get married doesn't mean you have to sit at home, cook dinner, watch Netflix, and that's your life. You can go and move to a different country. You can go and climb a freaking volcano. it's an adventure in and of itself.
And no matter how bad your marriage is, your relationship is, whether you're married or not, it's applicable to everyone. I thought I married the worst woman. In reality, yeah, I'm saying that with her here. In reality, I brought out the worst out of the best woman. And that's because I was so focused on work. So now that we've switched that up, we're gonna show you what it means to have fun, have experiences, and make money while doing it. So don't get me wrong, that's a big focus. Rise or Die is heavy on money. We have Real and Raw Entrepreneurship coming out, that's heavy on money. 21 Leap, one of our companies, we're heavy on talking about making money. But let's take a step back and look at what actually is important, what matters the most, because you can make $1 million, you can make $1 billion, but if you go to war at home every day, if you're not experiencing what life has to offer, what's the point? No one cares how much money you make. They care what you're doing to invest in them. They care about the experiences that you have with them. So, I hope you enjoy Adventure in Marriage. Anything else to add?
I don't think so. I think you said it all really nicely.
That's Adventure in Marriage. This is episode number 1. We're going to do this weekly. We may get to the point where we do it twice a week, but we're going to start with once a week, just documenting our journey, our move here, giving up our little cute puppy. You'll see her a bit, and we're going to have some fun with this. But I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for joining us. I'll talk to you next week.